Sandhan. All Gujarat Integrated Classroom.
સેટેલાઇટના માધ્યમથી જોડતી કડી એટલે સંધાન.
Dear viewers, friends and students, good morning once again. In letter writing 1, we have discussed different regular parts of a letter as well as occasional parts of a letter which come sometimes in letters. Here today we have to discuss the letter writing 2. My name is Wasim Qureshi, Assistant Professor in English at Vishwakarma Government Engineering College, Ahmedabad. Now first of all we'll go for different styles and formats. When you want to convey a message by writing a letter, the message should be the same, but the way it is represented, the way it is presented, it can be different. It depends on you. Nobody can claim that this is the only format or this is the only style for writing a letter. No, nobody can claim it. Anybody can have his or her own style, but basically we follow certain styles which are already popular in the world, right? When we write a letter, either it can be written in this style, it can be written in that style, it can be written in your own style. So first of all, we'll take a letter and we'll look at different styles and different formats with the names. Which style is called by which name. Here is the first style, that is called fully indented style. Fully indented style. You can view the letter, the format would be the content would be the same. So it begins like ABC Industry 21 GIDC Vatwa Ahmedabad. Now you can identify that ABC Industry is an industry which gives this letter, and the second line of it is the address, right? Then the next line right inside you can see 5th June 2011. It is the date. Now can you give me the name of this date, whether it is an American style or British style? British style. Is it in open punctuation or closed punctuation? Yes, it is with open punctuation. Then comes the address and the name and the designation of the recipient, Mr. R.P. Mehra, manager, XYZ company, Mumbai. Now here you can see the way of address, right? In that address, the first line begins like Mr. R.P. Mehra, but the second line, the first letter of the first word, M of manager, does not come exactly under M of Mr., right, from Mr. R.P. Mehra, but we have one indent, we have a little tab, we have some space right after the left margin. And then the third line of the address, XYZ company, once again X does not exactly begin from where the first M or the second M has begun, but once again we have 5 spaces, we have a little tab, or we can call it indent. So all these 3 lines of this receiver's address is in indented form. Then we have salutation, as it is, dear sir. The first line of the first paragraph has a little tab. With the left hand margin you leave 5 spaces, or you have a tab when you type a letter using your keyboard, or you can leave some space, and then your first word or first letter of the first paragraph begins. After that, when you go to the second paragraph, the same style is followed, right? You can see after 2 lines I indicate the second paragraph. In the second paragraph, once again I have kept one tab, right? I have kept one space, that is indented style. When you have this kind of indented style inside address, the address of the receiver, as well as in all the paragraphs, this is called fully indented form or fully indented style. Now when there is no fully indented style, we can have semi-indented style. ABC Industry 21 GIDC Vatwa Ahmedabad, because it's a big industry, so we don't follow certain rules. Instead of ABC Industry, if there is a name of a person, suppose Wasim Qureshi writes a letter, right, I should follow that kind of indented style in fully indented style. But here the name and the address of the sender, because it's a company, it is in the middle of the page. Sometimes it can come with the logo, it can come with the URL, it can come with a style, some design, some colors. The important thing here which I want to focus as semi indented style is the address of the recipient, which you can look at it. It is not given in indented style, it is in the block form. As we have discussed block form earlier in the letter writing 1 video, M for manager, M of manager begins exactly below M of Mr. R.P. Mehra. So all 3 lines of that address begins with the left hand margin, but there are some indents, and those indents are seen in paragraphs. So the paragraph begins with one kind of a tab, it's a kind of a space, or it's a kind of indent. Then you begin the paragraph. At the end of the paragraph, when you go for the second paragraph, once again what you do, you have that indent and that tab is seen. So using that tab or using the 5 spaces there, it becomes indented form. And that's why we have not seen any kind of indented form in addresses. Here you can see only the tabs available in the paragraphs, and that's why it is called semi indented style. The third is fully block style. Now fully block style is very American style. All the things, including both the addresses, even the salutation, even the complimentary clause, even the signature line, and even subject line. It is not there in this slide, but sometimes when the subject line has to be there, it comes with the left hand margin. You can say it becomes a kind of a block. ABC Industry, then its address, then the date, then the recipient Mr. R.P. Mehra, his address, then dear sir, and even the paragraph. The very important thing is the paragraph does not begin from having tab. So there is no tab, there is no space we have left before each beginning of the paragraph. But here there is exactly without tab. We start the paragraph even from the left hand margin, and that's why it is called fully block style. This fully block style is very popular nowadays in today's world. You can have many letters coming at your house, you can find them, right? It is very easy as well as very popular among youngsters as well as young people nowadays. This is American style. Then we have modified block style. Now in modified block style, you can see yours faithfully ABC, that is complimentary clause and the signature, and the name of the sender ABC Industry 21 GIDC Vatwa Ahmedabad, and the date 5th June 2011. Only these things are not with the left hand margin. I have kept the sender's name and the address in the middle because I want to be I want it to be there. I have kept the date right hand side. Yours faithfully ABC, it is given in the middle, at the little bit right hand side, but the name and the address of the receiver, that is in block form. Exactly, it begins with the left hand margin. And the more important is the beginning of each and every paragraph without having any spaces, without having any tab, indent. All the paragraphs begin with the left hand margin. This kind of style is also very modern. People use it very frequently, very now and then. So as a creative writer, you can have your own style, but this is also a very popular style in the world nowadays. So this is called modified block form. You have modified it. So it is a kind of block form, but it's a little bit modified. If everything comes to the left hand margin, it becomes fully block form. But here it is a little bit modified in a way that the addresses, one of the addresses, date, and the complementary clause, they do not come with the left hand margin. Then we have hanging paragraph style. Now this is a little bit new, as well as you can say that it's a little bit odd, which you might have seen very very rarely. The address and the date, salutation are as they are, but you can see the paragraph, the style of the paragraph. Each paragraph begins as block form style. So the first line of the paragraph begins with left hand margin, but when you go to the second line, it doesn't come with the first, it doesn't come with the left hand margin. You give tab there. So the first line looks a little longer than the second line. The second line goes to right hand side, because there is tab, there is an indent, or there is some spaces, right, between the left hand margin as well as the first word of that second line. Then when you go to the third line, once again the same tab would be followed, the fourth line, fifth line. So you can see that first line of each paragraph should be a little longer, right, because it's a little longer because there is no tab at all, but the remaining lines look a little shorter in comparison to the first line of the paragraph, because in each line you have tab. So it looks like a paragraph which is hanging, right, and that's why it is called hanging paragraph style. It is followed, right, when you write a second paragraph or the next paragraphs. So each paragraph should have that kind of style, right. Once again, yours faithfully ABC, that would be as it is, but you can see a kind of a twist in the style of the paragraphs, and that's why it is called hanging paragraph style. Now we have to discuss some specimen letters, but before that I have to say that apart from these 5 styles, you can have your own style, right. You can design your own style. You can modify 2 or 3 taking 2 or 3 different formats, but basically these 5 are frequently used and they are very popular, right. You can use any of them. Now we have some specimen letters. When you write a letter of inquiry, which kind of language you should use? Here I have skipped the addresses, the address of the sender as well as the address of the recipient, and I have skipped that date, and at the end of the letter there should be yours faithfully XYZ, right. I have skipped that complementary clause. I just want to focus on the content of the letter itself, because ultimately we have to improve our letter writing, particularly the language which you have to use, the way, the attitude which you have to reflect, the courteous language. Though you write a complaint letter, you should not be very rude in your language, right. The same better thing can be given in a very polite manner, so that person can do the task which you want him to do, right. So we'll discuss about it also, but here I want to focus on the content, the body of the letter, the first paragraph, the second paragraph, the middle paragraphs, and the last paragraph. And that's why in all the specimen I have not written anything which is above and the below of this content. So my letter begins with the subject line. Subject line indicates exactly the intention of my writing letter. You can see it. Inquiry for 200 industrial tools, into brackets, model number 142X. When you talk about some tools, instruments, some particular things like that, you have to have model numbers or there must be some code. Sometimes item codes are given. So you can have that item code in your letter. Otherwise, there are so many industrial tools which are sold by that company, so they would be confused what to answer. Dear sir, Aroma Industries is one of the leading agents in Gujarat. We have to fulfill a big government contract for supplying 200 mechanical machines. We are therefore in need of buying 200 tools, model number 142X. We request you to send to us your reasonable quotation with latest price list. As our order is large, we request you to offer us maximum discount and favorable terms of payment. We have to supply machines before 30th July 2011. Let us know whether you are in a position to supply the goods by 15th July 2011. If your quotation is found to be reasonable, we shall definitely place our order with you. We await your prompt response. Now, this is a letter of inquiry. You can view that there are 3 sentences which I have done with the red color. When you write a letter, you should not do it, but just by doing it, just by keeping 3 sentences in red, font, I just want to highlight 3 important things of this letter. The very first line is Aroma Industries is one of the leading agents in Gujarat. Now, when you write a letter of inquiry, what happens? You know that company a little bit, because that company has given the advertisement in the newspaper. They have shown their products somewhere in the fair. They have given advertisements in the news, on the channel, on the TV. So that company, a little bit about that product well, but how can you expect that industry knows you well? So when you give the first correspondence, when you do first correspondence with the company, first introduce yourself, what you are, who you are, where you belong to, and what you do in that area of industry, in the area of academics, in the area of anything, right? So here Aroma Industries is one of the leading agents in Gujarat. So that is a kind of an introduction which the company gives. The second red line is we request you to send to us your reasonable quotation with latest price list. Now here a person can write like this: send us your reasonable quotation with latest price list. When you begin a sentence with verb, imperative sentence, it looks like an order, stand up, but the same thing can be given, please stand up. The more polite is, would you please stand up? One of the polite ways is this: we request you to send to us these things. So you have a very polite language. It reflects the attitude of you as a writer of the letter. So we request you to send us your reasonable quotation with latest price list. So whatever the price which are there in a latest situation, we want to do it. Now I just want to show you one catalog. I brought it for you. You can see the catalog. This is the catalog, right, by some industry, and here you can see some products are given: planetary mixer, tensile twisting machine, precision weigh balance, weigh batcher, soil compactor. These are the instruments which are mostly used by civil engineers. So in a catalog, basically the product items are shown. Sometimes the names are given, some descriptions are given, sometimes they give the code number, right, or model number along with that picture. And then we have another book that is called price list, right? I have a price list for you. This is a price list. It is a price list for the books which are published and sold. So there is a lot detail about the book, and there is a latest price which is given here. So you can see there is a book aircraft power plants, and the price is 1070 rupees. So in that way, catalog and price list can be asked. And the last line which I want to focus from this letter is, if your quotation is found to be reasonable, we shall definitely place our order with you. As we have discussed in letter writing 1, that your letter should end with hope, request, a kind of a good cordial relationship. And here it is, that if we find your prices and quotations and terms and conditions and modes of payment good for us, reasonable for us, will surely give you big order. So this is a very simple letter of inquiry. You can have your own words, you can have your own attitude into it, you can have your own style, you can have your own format. You can have hanging paragraph style, you can have block form style, you can have semi block form style, any style you can follow. But the content should be clear, the content should lead the receiver to a particular message which you actually want to deliver, and it should be concise, it should be clear in all the manners. When I received this letter, a letter of inquiry, as a receiver, I can understand now what Aroma Industries is, right? I can understand that what they actually do. I can understand, I can get their intention of writing this letter. I can exactly locate which thing they want as an inquiry object, right? So it's a mechanical machines, but model number this. And I can understand the deadline also. If I am to deliver these goods to them, I have to deliver the goods by 15th of July 2011, because by 30th July they have to send it to the government. So 15 to 30 they can have their own process. So when a complete letter is written, there is nothing to clarify, there is nothing to open up. Everything is open, everything is clear. Now reply to inquiry. How can you write reply to inquiry? Now I have received that letter, now I have to reply. So the subject line would be like this: reply to inquiry for 200 industrial tools, model number 142X. In subject line, here I can mention the reference number, right, which they have given in the letter, right, when they have sent to me. Then, dear sir, we thank you for your inquiry dated 1st June. Now it comes with red line, right, with red color. We are pleased to submit our competitive quotation attached herewith. Our latest catalog is also enclosed with this letter. As per your need, we are able to send the goods before 15th July. Here are terms and conditions, and whatever terms and conditions you follow, you have in your industry, you can mention them. Here I just read for you. The prices quoted here are FOR destination, 90% payment is accepted CWO, and 10% COD. Quotation is valid for 30 days only. We are sure that you will find the quotation very much reasonable and favor us with your valued order. We await your large order. And after that we will have complimentary close signature, and then there would be enclosed or enclosure or E capital ENCL, in which you have to write quotation and catalog, because you have included, you have enclosed these two things along with this answer, along with this reply. Now once again we have to discuss two lines which I feel they are very important to discuss for particular this reply to inquiry. The first one is, thank you very much for your inquiry dated 1st June. So the person who will receive this letter will relate this letter to the earlier correspondence. They would have their own record of 1st June, right, correspondence, and they would relate it to that one, right? The sentence begins with thank you, because we are very thankful that you have shown your interest in our product. Sometimes you can put sentence like that also. The second thing which I have to focus is terms and conditions. You mention your own terms and conditions of your business if you are doing business, right? So these two things are important. And the last one, that is enclosure. If there is enclosed along with the letter, you have to mention it at the end of the letter, as we have discussed it letter writing 1, right? If there is nothing to be enclosed with the letter, no need to write enclosure 0. I have not enclosed anything, right? It is not written. The letter number 3, that is order letter. Now that person will give me an order. Once again, subject line, order for 200 industrial tools, model number 142X. Now you can understand that all the letters are in a linear situation. One by one, a person writes a letter, the second person gives the reply, then once again the first person comes with the same material, with the same content, with the same question. So you can relate it very easily. Now, dear sir, we thank you for your catalog and price list of industrial tool model number 142X. We find the price and terms reasonable. We are pleased to place our order for 200 industrial tools. Now he want to place an order for 200 tools. Please send the goods by 15th July 2011. That was the deadline. We have enclosed here our order form and a check for 90% of the bill, CWO. Please acknowledge the receipt. We look forward to having a prompt and satisfactory execution of our order. And after the complimentary clause, you can find enclosure, one that is order form and the second is check. Now once again we have to discuss two things. Thank you for your catalog and price list, right? And we are happy with all the terms and conditions which you have sent. So these things are there which you can mention in your order letter. And then you place an order. Along with that, you send the order form here in the letter and you send the check of 90% amount as per the terms and conditions we have discussed in the earlier letter. So after that you have to write, please acknowledge the receipt. That means you have to tell me by phone, by sending a letter, nowadays by sending an email or an SMS, that you have received our letter along with the check as well as our order. Once again you remind the person that you have to send the goods by 15th July 2011. Now goods, it's things which we are going to buy. And once again enclosure is very important. The specimen letter number 4, that is complaint letter. When you are dealing with industrial or commercial purposes, you can find so many complaints, and for that you write a letter in a sense of complaint. So you complain about something. Now in the same line we just go forward. There is a complaint. Our reference order for 200 industrial tools, model number this, dated 20th June 2011. Dear sir, we refer to our order dated 20th June 2011 for 200 industrial tools, etc., 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 to be supplied to us by 15th July. While acknowledging the order, you had assured us to supply the goods within the stated period. We are sorry to say that the above said period is over, and therefore we are not in a position to work for our contract with the government here because the deadline is over. The delay in the dispatch of goods has put us in great inconvenience. We request you to dispatch the goods within 8 days. If you fail to do so, we shall be compelled to cancel our order. Hope for the positive and prompt response from you. Now, the language of this complaint letter is not bitter. That is my point. It's a complaint letter. So we have a notion that complaints are always bitter, but here you can find the language, right? The tone, the attitude of the writer is not that much of bitter. But he is very clear in his, in his conversation. His intentions are clear. He can take any decision if within 8 days, if the company does not or cannot be able to send the material, send the goods, will feel that it is cancelled and you have to give us back, right, our own check which we have already sent to you. So 3 things. Once again, I just want to focus. We are sorry to say that. So instead of making complaint in a bitter sense, we are sorry to say that, this is a very nice way to say that you have done something wrong and we feel very guilty, we feel very sorry that we have to, we have to draw your attention towards that, mistake which is done by you. The second line, the delay in the dispatch of goods has put us in great inconvenience. And because of that, we are in a very bad situation. We are in a dilemma. We don't know what to do, right? So this is what you feel now about yourself and what kind of, trouble that person has done for you. So you have to make the person aware about it. And the last one, once again, you have hope. It's a very polite manner that I hope that you will have positive and, prompt response. We are waiting for that. So in that way, it is a complaint letter. After that, a person has to do a lot of adjustment. When there are so many complaints come to me, I have to answer them, right? So it's an answer to a complaint, right? Once again, I'm also a businessman. I'm doing a commercial, business. I have a commercial firm. In that way, I cannot be blunt. I cannot be, straightforward. I cannot be very much bitter in my language. I have to be ready for any kind of adjustment because ultimately customer is the king. So I have to respect my customers. So here, letter of adjustment, subject line, about inconvenience caused to you by us. Dear sir, we are sorry for your letter informing us about the delay in the execution of the order. It's okay. We have to inform you that our firm workers and office staff had been on strike from this date to that date. Such a situation had completely paralyzed our routine work. We are very sorry for the inconvenience caused to you. We can now reassure you that we will dispatch the tools to you within 6 days. Hope to have healthy business and industrial relations forever. Now see, once again, that was your mistake. That was a delay in execution on your side, at your side, and that's why you have to say sorry. You have to apologize, and that person apologizes that we are very sorry for your letter. Then once again he says that we are very sorry for the inconvenience caused to you, and that person gives the exact reason what happened, right? So instead of telling a lie, the person has said that our workers were on strike from this to that date, and that was the reason we could not send you goods in a stated time. At the end, you can see that we can now reassure you that we are able to send the goods within a week or within 5 days or 6 days. Sometimes even in that situation you are not able to send the goods. It's very natural and it should be very much honest that you accept it and you say that we are not able to send it. We are sorry and will give you your check back. So in that sense, your language, your attitude is very important when you write a letter of adjustment, when you write a reply to any complaint. Now this is a request letter. As a student, you have to write many letters to your principal, your teachers, your head of the departments. Many times you have to write many letters to your officers somewhere in government offices. And here there is one simple request letter prepared for you. Subject is to grant permission to use EME lab. EME lab is used for mechanical engineering purposes. Respected sir, I am Amit Mekwan from Mechanical Department, enrollment number so and so. I am working on the project on the profile title should be given as a final year project in 6th semester. I need to use EME lab for the said purpose. I humbly request you to grant me permission to use lab during college hours. It would be a great help for my project. I assure you that I'll take care of the tools, things, equipments, apparatus, whatever, right, of the EME lab during my work. Thank you very much. Now this is a very simple request letter. If you want to write a request letter to get permission to get special concession on the entry ticket to Science City, Ahmedabad, right, you can write it to a director of Science City that, sir, I am a student from this college. We have a class of this number 50, 60, 40 and we plan to visit Science City. And for that, we want a special concession on entry tickets or the tickets which are there inside for other, visits. Please give us concession for that. This is very simple request letter you can write in future. Let's write a letter together. So, are you ready? So, take a pen, take a paper and read the instruction. Vivek Patel from Mamco Mills writes a request letter to his project head to get leave permission for 7 days. Now, you are Vivek Patel and this is the address, Mamco Mills. Mamco Mills can be in Nadiyad, it can be in Khed Brahma, it can be in Baroda, it can be in Ahmedabad. So you can write your own address. You can write today's date and then it's a letter for your project head. So the project head, his address or her address can be given and then you come to subject line, you write a letter, yours faithfully XYZ, right? Now for you, I've done that homework, just look at it. This is a letter. Now, I am Vivek Patel, core member, project MMT 909. Instead of my address, I just mention the project number, 5th August 2011. I write to Mr. Tapan Soni, is the project head, Surat, subject line, to grant a week leave. Dear sir, I have a family function at Bhuj during 14th August to 20th August 2011. My presence is very much awaited there. I request you to grant me 1 week leave for the said program. I'd come back on my duty from 21st August 2011. Thank you very much. Sincerely yours, Vivek Patel. Now, writing a letter is not very difficult. It's very simple. If you can use simple language, if you can use simple words, if you have a very simple format in your mind which you have to follow, it's really very easy. Now let's write a letter together. There is instruction. Anant Parmar, ABC Polytechnic, writes a request letter to Gujarat Industries, Narol, Ahmedabad, for allowing him to work for his project. Once again, you can see the letter. I don't read it, but you can read it and you can download it, right? You can get the print of it also. Here there is an enclosure because as a student, if I want to use some company, right, as a trainer for my project, I should produce a recommendation letter from my project guide. So I have attached a recommendation letter from my head of the department, or that head can be the guide for the project. So it is also very important, right? So that's why enclosure recommendation letter is given. Now there are some tips for better letter writing. Always proofread your letter after writing it. Check for sentence structure, grammar, spelling mistakes, etc. NOT not and NOTE note, they have two different meanings, right? SI sin and SEE sin, even in the pronunciations they are very different, even in their spellings they are very different, and that's why in their meanings they are very different. So proofread, draft a letter, read a letter, reread a letter, and check each and every aspect, whether it is grammar, whether it is sentence structure, whether it is spelling, everything. Proofread your letter again and again after you have revised it. It may be rewritten many times. Earlier we discussed that a good letter is not written once, it is rewritten many times. So you have to rewrite your letter many times, then only it can be a perfect letter. Keep the receiver of the letter in your mind and write in a way that he or she can easily understand the letter, right? So that receiver should be there. So if you know the end of the end of the process, you can begin, right, in a very proper manner. Do not use abbreviation dates, right? Use November 19, 2010 and not 11, 19, 10, something like that. Even try to write the full name of the month instead of its abbreviation. Right? Write November instead of NOV. If you write NOV, N capital, OV full stop, it's okay. But it is better that you write complete name of the month. Be respectful when you write, even if you are writing a letter of complaint. As we have discussed in one of the complaint letters, that your language should be very courteous. Be concise and keep to the point, but don't leave out any important information. Your letter should be concise, right? It should be a little short in a sense that it should contain everything which you want to add, right? It should not leave anything. That is also important. But it should not be very lengthy, and particularly when you write a formal letter. Suppose you write a letter to police commissioner and your letter is 10-page letter. Now, do you feel that police commissioner of a big city has that much of time to read 10 pages, your agonies and emotions and feelings? No. So it's better that you put those pages into 1 or 2 or 3, right? But don't leave anything if it is very important. If all things are important, then you have to include everything into it, but it should be little concise. Try to keep your letter short so that it fits on one page. So 1-page letter is very good. If there are some pages to be followed, you have to write 1 of 3, 2 of 3 and 3 of 3. So 1 of 3 will indicate me that there are 2 pages there still which I have to read. If you have access to company or personal stationery, right, with a letterhead, use that instead of regular paper. So when you write a letter on behalf of a company, instead of a regular paper, you have to use the company's letterhead. Avoid using old-fashioned phrases, jargon words. Instead, you have to use short, simple, regular, day-to-day words. Now there are some abbreviations. ASAP, sometimes very informal, you can use the word as soon as possible. CC, as we have discussed, it is for carbon copy. ENC or ENCL, sometimes E as capital, it is for enclosure. PP or per pro, that is per procurationum, a signature done on behalf of some other authority. PTO, either in capital or in small, in informal way, it is for please turn over, to make sure that the other person knows the letter continues on the other side of the page. RSVP, it is for please reply. FOR, it was there in one of the letters, right, in the same video lecture. FOR, free on rail, that means the expense will be borne by the sender at the destination, railway station of the receiver. So I will send the goods to your railway station, right? And till then it is on us. So you don't have to pay for any amount paid for the railway fare, etc. But after that it will be up to you. CWO stands for cash with order, and COD, that is for cash on delivery, and PS, as we know, it's for postscript. Now very important question I just want to ask you, after 2 hours session on letter writing 1 and letter writing 2, are you able to write or at least type an effective and correct letter now? If your answer is no, you have to go back to letter writing 1 and then letter writing 2 and then come to the question. But if you say yes, you are able to write an effective, proper concise, correct letter, then there is an assignment for you. This is very simple assignment. Type a letter in MS Word file, that is a doc file. Write about your learning experiences through these video lectures, particularly of mine, and your feedback. Attach that file with your email and then send your email to me, to the presenter, on wasim_Qureshi@yahoo.co.in. So I'll receive your letters, I'll comment on it, right? And I will be happy if you have learnt really something good, something worthy out of these video lectures. So thank you very much at the end of the session. Have a nice time. Keep smiling. Ano Badra Kratavayantu Vishwatah. May we receive auspicious thoughts from all the directions. Thank you very much.
Sandhan. All Gujarat Integrated Classroom.
સેટેલાઇટના માધ્યમથી જોડતી કડી એટલે સંધાન.